welcome to another episode of RADUC, a weekly show dissecting news highlights in and around the American University in Cairo, brought to you by the Caravan. I'm your host, Lia Abdelwahab.
And I'm your co-host, Bassel and Hanna.
And after we sat down with the Provost, we felt that we wanted to revisit that interview and what was said. So here's some commentary on last week's episode. Now, let's talk about the pass or fail proposal. Why do you think that was rejected?
I think it was rejected because the provost saw and senior faculty at AUC, they felt that the solution to people struggling online in online courses was not particularly making the courses pass or fail, but making the courses more interactive. They felt that was the way to go, but you're not quite sure how feasible that can be because courses are already underway and grades already have been given. So what's the play here? How are we gonna fix that for people who already suffered from the online courses being very not interactive?
And do you think anything changed after that interview with the provost?
Not entirely. Like, it wasn't that long ago, so I don't think anything changed. But we know the circumstances that the provost has been going through, and we do extend our deepest condolences, but there hasn't been any movement from what I understand. I don't think the announcement that they said would be made from the 7th to the 9th of November, I don't think that was made, was it?
No, nothing was made on the 7th or 9th of November, which is weird because I thought that they will announce the learning modalities of next semester then, but...
Yeah, they didn't do that. Maybe they're waiting to see what happens with the vaccine situation. That Pfizer has said they got over the line with human testing. But from what I understand, they're only going to manufacture 50 million doses in 2020. And these doses will mainly be for developed countries or countries that have first dibs. And even then, it's only going to be for healthcare workers or elderly people, people in care homes, people who work with people in care homes, and these kinds of people. In 2021, they're going to manufacture a further 1.3 billion doses, with students at university at the bottom of the pecking order as to when they're going to get the vaccine. I think the ranking was people who work in care homes, healthcare workers, then people over 80, people over 70, people over 60, and it goes down along like that. So I don't know if the vaccine will be available next semester for us students, and if it's not, I don't see anything changing from where we are now.
So by that logic, do you think spring will be online?
By that logic, from this piece of news that I've read about recently, I think they don't have a reason to, not have it online. But we don't know if the university needs to come back to campus or certain elements in the university need to go back to campus. And are we going to be forced to go back to campus? I wouldn't be forced because I want to go back to campus, but is it safe? What's going to change from this semester to the next? You never know, because Egypt isn't taking any precautions whatsoever to eliminating this virus. So I don't see anything changing. Actually, I see everything being worse.
Okay. Well, many people are speculating that next semester is going to adopt a hybrid model.
I heard a few rumors that an email was sent to the chairs of the different departments in our university that they're going to announce soon that next semester's hybrid is going to be more campus focused. But that email was sent almost 2 weeks ago and we're still here. And the announcement was supposed to be from the 7th to the 9th of November and we're still here. So I think we're in a state of limbo in terms of what we should expect for next semester. And I think an email was sent recently about advising or something that it was postponed till they see something. Did you receive that email?
Yes, I did. And the course offerings were supposed to come out this week, but they didn't.
And that's because they still didn't make this announcement as to whether we're going to be online next semester or more hybrid campus focused. You think that's the reason?
Yeah, I think that's the reason. But let's go back to the pass or fail proposal. Do you think that the alternative solution to online courses that the provost put forward are feasible?
As I said in the beginning, I don't think they're feasible because courses are already underway and grades already have been distributed. I'll take myself as an example. I'm currently enrolled in a course that is less than interactive. Actually, it's not interactive and it supports the lack of interactivity. in the course because I haven't seen the professor live, like on a Zoom call or on a phone call or on a voice note since the beginning of the semester. And I don't think she intends to make an appearance until the end of the semester. And the course works like this: every class time, at the end of the class, a recorded lecture is released. And by the next class, you need to have had watched this recorded lecture from beginning to end with 100% viewership rate and at 1.0 speed. And when the next class begins, you don't go to class and like ask questions about the recorded lecture you saw. You don't ask questions on ideas you didn't understand. No, you log into class, you go to Edmodo, you fill in a quiz, and that quiz is only available for 10 minutes at the beginning of the class. So, and if you miss it, you miss the whole participation grade for that day. And so it doesn't take into account if you're like busy or you're outside or whatever. It doesn't take into account any of that. And you finish the quiz, and then there's an hour and 5 minutes of class time left, during which it's office hours held by the TAs, not by the doctor, by the TAs, which is to me preposterous because I didn't sign up for this course to have it explained to me by TAs. With all respect to them, they're probably very knowledgeable and very but I wanted a course taught by a professor. I don't think that's too much to ask. And after the office hours are over, the next recorded lecture is posted and you have to watch it, and so on, so on, so on. And we've been like this since the beginning of the semester. Even the review session that was before the midterm, it was held by the TAs only. And if you had any questions, the TAs would explain, which was less than ideal. I would have imagined at least the doctor would appear at least once or twice during the semester, maybe in the midterm review sessions, but no, which is to me more than preposterous, let us say. And so how do you fix something like that? I've already got my midterm grade, already had my quiz grades. How are you gonna look at that and say, yeah, it doesn't need pass or fail, we'll just make the course more interactive? I don't see any substance in that solution at all. There's not enough time in a semester to do all that, you know? So that's my answer to that, basically. I know I took you all on a tangent, but I felt it needed to be out there. I think this is a very important example and something everyone should be aware of. And I'm sure a lot of students are passing through the same things, because I have talked to many of them, and many of them, not to this extent, but are passing through this lack of interactivity that they're suffering on account of.
What do you think the biggest concern is for next semester?
Biggest concern for next semester is how the online is going to be implemented, because it's not working so well right now, if I'm being honest. And I'm not sure if you agree, but uh, I'm more than convinced it's not working as well as it should. I don't see the feasibility in having 5 courses online that you're graded on very strictly. And professors have been less and less considerate during this semester than the last semester, but with some few exceptions, of course. But yeah, it's next semester, I'm pretty sure, has to be on campus, or it has to be postponed, or they have to find a solution for this mess, because a lot of professors are not held in account of their courses and how they deliver them.
And that brings our episode to an end. I'd like to thank my co-host Bassel Hanna, as well as our lovely founder Basant Samhout. RADUC is brought to you by The Caravan. Visit us at auccaravan.com for more news stories. Tell us what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and share the episode. Tune in next week for the latest news. Thanks for listening.
Radio